You built you. You run you. Be the CEO of you. This is C.YOU.O. You run you. Born to build, raised to run, made to
Because if you
lead.
don't do it, who's gonna do it?
This is C.YOU.O.
Welcome back to C.YOU.O, where we learn to lead ourselves at a higher level and become the chief executive officer of you. Because the quality of your life rarely exceeds the quality of your leadership. And leadership begins with knowing exactly what you are working with. Let's go and let's grow. Today's conversation is called The Arsenal Within. Most people spend their lives looking outward, looking for opportunities, looking for recognition, looking for validation, looking for permission. Meanwhile, they walk past one of the greatest resources they will ever possess: themselves. The tragedy isn't lacking potential. The tragedy is never recognizing it. Let's take an inventory. Some of you have degrees. Some of you have certifications. Some of you have technical expertise. Those are tangible skills. You can point to them, you can measure them, you're able to frame them and list them on a resume. But there's another category of skills society often overlooks: the intangible skills. You know, the ability to calm chaos, the ability to build trust, the ability to persevere, the ability to lead under pressure, the ability to listen, the ability to teach, and the ability to connect with people, the ability to remain composed when everything around you is falling apart. And because these skills don't always come with certificates, many people dismiss them. But some of the most influential leaders built their success on intangible strengths. Not just what they knew, but who they had become. So let's look at if you had a missing ingredient. Say you're missing an ingredient. Imagine a master chef standing in a kitchen. The recipe isn't working. The flavor is missing something. The chef assumes they don't have what they need. So they keep searching for another cookbook, another class, another expert, another ingredient. Sound familiar? Yeah, me too. Only to realize later that the missing ingredient had been sitting in the pantry the entire time. Many people live this way. They keep searching outside themselves because they assume they are incomplete. Meanwhile, their patience, their adaptability, their resilience, their emotional intelligence, their creativity, their ability to inspire others have been sitting untouched on the shelf. You may not need another ingredient. You may need to recognize the ingredients you already possess. So let's talk about why people downplay themselves. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned to minimize ourselves. Maybe it was humility misunderstood. Maybe it was criticism. Maybe it was comparison. Maybe it was environments that only celebrated certain types of success. So you learn to say things like, it's not a big deal. Anybody can do that. That doesn't really count. But what if it does count? What if the things you dismiss are actually the things that distinguish you? The mentor who changed lives doesn't dismiss empathy. The entrepreneur who builds teams doesn't dismiss communication. The leader who navigates uncertainty doesn't dismiss adaptability. Why should you? So let's go to the battlefield. Imagine preparing for battle with an entire arsenal available to you. You got guns, swords, you got arrows, you got slingshot, you got it all. But because no one taught you what each tool could do, you walk onto the battlefield carrying a pocket knife only. And we all know what they say about bringing a knife to a gunfight. Not because the other resources didn't exist. You didn't overlook them. It was because you didn't recognize them. Some people approach life like this. They use only a fraction of what they are. Then wonder why everything feels harder than it should. C.YOU.O teaches you something different. Know your arsenal. Train with your arsenal. Trust your arsenal. Because confidence isn't pretending to have everything figured out. Confidence is accurately understanding what you bring to the table and understanding those tools that you bring onto the battlefield. So how do we do this? We conduct an audit. This is where self-evaluation becomes powerful. Not self-criticism, not self-condemnation. Evaluation. What tangible skills do you possess? What have you accomplished? What problems do people consistently come to you to solve? What environments bring out your best? What experiences have shaped your perspective? What intangible strengths have carried you through difficult seasons? Because survival develops skills. Parenthood develops skills. Military service develops skills. Caregiving develops skills. Entrepreneurship develops skills. Loss and recovery develops skills. Leadership develops skills. And even adversity leaves evidence of developing skills. If you're willing to look for it, it'll be there. Think of an iceberg. We've all heard the story. People only see the portion above the water. The awards, the titles, the promotions, the credentials. But beneath the surface exists something much larger. We've talked about it before. Discipline, character, emotional endurance, adaptability, integrity, work ethic, compassion, and vision. The visible portion may open the door, but the invisible portion determines whether you can sustain success once you walk through it. You see, you can't ever underestimate the part of you that others cannot immediately see, because often that's where your greatest strengths live. At C.YOU.O, we are not interested in false confidence. We have to do a perspective shift. We are interested in accurate confidence. Accurate confidence says, I know what I know. I know what I don't know. And I know the value I bring. That kind of confidence doesn't require arrogance. It doesn't require comparison. It doesn't require external validation. Because you have done the work of taking inventory. You understand your arsenal. So now what? Well, we do the arsenal audit. This week, your arsenal audit will be to take 15 minutes. Write down 10 tangible skills. Then write down 10 intangible skills. Ask yourself, what do people thank me for? What challenges have I ever overcome? What strengths have helped me navigate difficult seasons? What parts of myself have I been minimizing? Circle 3 assets you have been overlooking. Then ask yourself, how can I intentionally use these strengths this week? Because awareness without action, it doesn't change anything. But awareness followed by intentional leadership changes everything. You are not empty. You are not starting from zero. You are not unequipped as you think. There are experiences within you, lessons within you, strengths within you, wisdom within you, an arsenal within you. The goal of C.YOU.O isn't to become someone else. The goal is to become the most effective version of who you already are. To identify your assets, strengthen your weaknesses, honor your experiences, and lead yourself with clarity. Because the CEO of your life, the C.YOU.O, cannot afford to underestimate the organization they have been entrusted to lead. And that organization is you. If this episode challenged the way you see yourself, share it with someone who may have forgotten what they bring to the table. And until next time, continue conducting those audits that transform awareness into action. So keep going, keep growing, and I'll see you in the boardroom. Thank you for tuning in to the C.YOU.O podcast, a safe space for you to focus on you. Don't forget to subscribe, join the email list, and follow us on social media for daily encouragement. Remember, showing up for yourself first is the most powerful way to show up for others. Until next time, keep leading, keep growing, and keep choosing you.